Hari Om to all present here. Today, we are doing the fourth session of Tattvabodha text written by Adi Shankaracharya. Let us start with the opening prayer. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. नारायणसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. So this AVSC group, that is Atmajyoti Vedanta Study Circle, is a group that is started for the beginners. Either it may be the people who are working or at home as homemakers or not working, or even for the youngsters. It depends on the group. So it is a small group wherein each of us will get to know what is Adhyatma studies and what is the spiritual aspect that we have to put into practice. So since we are all blessed, we are under the guidance of a realized master, Sri Prabhuji, who has started the Light of Self Foundation about 27 years back, and we have been benefited sitting at home and to listen to his talks through his videos, which are already recorded. From that, a small group like this will be set up so that there is a one coordinator, and that coordinator will have already gone through that text and all those the talks of Guruji, and through that we can share the knowledge, and whatever is there in Tattvabodha, that is what is being discussed here now. So we have had some 3-4 sessions already, and last week Jayashree ji got added, and Satish ji and Veeresh ji also joined, and he just came home, so he'll just freshen up and join now. By the time, for the benefit of the new joinees, what we'll do is Vaishnavi ji and Sudha ji, who had already been who had joined from the beginning, we'll just give the gist of what we have done, and then we'll move on to this seventh talk of Guruji, only if time permits. And with the blessings of Guruji, all this has been possible all this while, and going forward also with his blessings, we will just move on. And today happens to be the Gita Jayanti day, which is really coincidental. And today only we have this session, and with the blessings of Lord Krishna, let us move forward. Who would go first, Vaishnavi ji or Sudhaji, to give the gist? Anyone can opt for.
Anyone. What Vaishnavi ji wants to go first, let her.
Gurubhyo Namaha. We've had the good fortune of coming together to discuss Tattvabodha. It is a Manana and Atma Chintana group. Over the past few weeks, we've covered over 7 videos. Kantiji ma'am? We've covered over 6 videos. And also, we've had the whole week in between to think of how we could relate these teachings to our own lives. Guruji, in his the preparatory talks to the explanation of the text, he mentions that there is always this need to understand the truth in every situation, in every matter. Without understanding the truth, there is no freedom. So he mentions that Tattvabodha, the word, the literal meaning, that is the essential. The Bodha means the knowledge. Often we are drawn to things that are in form and structure in nature, uh, drawn towards what is visible and what is outwardly and what is more attractive and more relatable to us. So, in life in particular, when we look at relationships, when we look at the objects that we desire, the positions and the wealth and value of our own lives that we desire, are all in terms of what you can measure. Guruji mentions that we have forgotten to understand the essential nature. Uh, and he mentions that when the student isn't aware of the essential nature, he is drawn to 100 million things that plague him, which is the reason why there is so much stress, there is so much misery and unhappiness in this world. So, Tattva Bodha is a text of Sri Shankaracharya. It is a preparatory text. It condenses the study of the essential teachings of the Vedanta. So it combines a lot of knowledge and concepts from Bhagavad Gita, Bhashya Sutram, Upanishads, and so on. So Guruji mentions that if you were to look at a mud pot, the external nature is that it is a cup and it is probably big or small. But the essential nature is that it is made of mud. And that doesn't change whether you break the cup, whether you pour water in it, whether you keep it empty, whatever be the reason, the essential nature doesn't change. And this text itself is a guide, is like a compass to seek the essential nature of our own lives. Uh, if you were to understand the word human being, very common parlance, we use it so loosely. So Guruji mentions that being and human, there are two words in it. That itself, uh, you can extrapolate this whole concept of Tattva Bodha in it. The being nature, the I am, the consciousness, the Atma, the Brahman, that is the essential nature. The human part, say I am a woman or a man or a girl or an employee or a retired person, all of those that are changing, those human characteristics, those change with time and space, those are the fleeting qualities. And then also, uh, the reason why we must learn the I am part of our 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 existence is that one, truth is important, that you know what your about your existence, that you need to know truth from, you need to know the rise from the shaft. It is the same way, you need to know your existence, the true purpose, and the true divine nature. Man is physically and naturally he's a very divine creation. All our problems are man-made. A guru's objective is to bring this student out of this chaos in his head and make him understand that truth is happiness, is what is an understanding what he truly is. And that is what Tattva Bodha reminds us. One is that truth is important. To understand what we are, what our essential nature is, extremely important. Number two, to bring out people out of their miseries. If I were to attribute my happiness or my contentment to, say, my body, mind, or intellect, I would have 100 things drawing me in different directions and different place and time, and I would never find peace in it. But to understand that happiness is within yourself and peace is in understanding this essential nature, you realize that you have the freedom. You have actually cut yourself out from these strings that pull you on all sides. And three, to understand that we are always concerned about how we would want to expand our wealth, our position, our lifespans. So we are always looking at things that are finite, but understanding our essential nature gives you the freedom of infinite happiness. So this clarity that comes out of understanding this text gives you the freedom from this finite concept of happiness to actually leading us to the infinite source of happiness that we can actually realize from within. And Guruji also mentions that that knowledge in this case, it's not about reading more Upanishads or Vedas or any number of slokas or scripts. It's about a single truth, understanding who I am. That one single truth will lead you to that recognition of truth. It is in itself happiness. So he said it is not about expanding your knowledge, it is about recognizing and realizing this truth. So this is what I have gathered so far.
Very well summarized, Vaishnavi-ji. You've given the crisp of whatever 6 talks that we have already taken up. Thank you so much. Sudhaji. And I welcome Veeresh-ji, who joined now.
Thank you, madam. I'll be muting, but I'll be listening, madam. Okay.
Possible, you can have the video camera on, sir.
Yeah, I'll come back. I'm just preparing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hari Om, everyone. Actually, I think Vaishnavi got most of the summary. She collected all the salient points that Prabhuji has given in the first 6 talks. So I'm just merely repeating what she has already said. So like Prabhuji said in the first talk itself, Tattvabodha, the very title of the book, draws our attention. Tattva means to our real nature, the truth, what we really are. And Bodha means this whole book is a teaching about our real nature. And in that talk, Prabhuji clarifies that what is your real nature is that you are the Atman. Okay. And Atman is normally defined by Vedanta as the one indivisible, infinite existence. So Prabhuji says that you are the Atman, and this whole world with whom we are continuously interacting. There are only 2 elements in our life. One is I, and the others, the rest of the world. So Prabhuji says that this whole world with which you are interacting is also a form of the Atman and is known as Brahman. And by the end of this study of Tattvabodha, you will understand that Atman is only Brahman. The 2 are one. So this study, this understanding that you are not the mind, body, energy complex that we are conditioned to think, but that you are the Atman is the most important teaching, and it is called Atma Jnana. And it is necessary for us in order to become free from samsara. Samsara is all this bondage that we are having, and to have that peace in our life. And then in the second talk, like Vaishnavi ji said, Prabhuji draws our attention to the fact that whatever name and form that you see in this world, there is only one reality in it, and that is the Atman. And he gives the example of this glass made out of clay. The glass might be big, small, beautiful, broken, anything. But if the mud is not there, there is no glass. So that is the reality of our existence also. The sad thing is we are so bound up with this name and form that we are never able to understand that we are that truth, that reality, the Atman. So the second talk, Prabhuji draws our attention to that point. In the third talk, like Vaishnavi ji said again, Prabhuji gives great clarification on this word that we use so normally, human being. we think that it is just one word, and it is referring to us humans with the hands and legs and one big brain and all that. But Prabhuji broke it up and explained it so beautifully. He calls human that part of our existence which is bound up with this name and form. And being is our tattva. It refers to us as consciousness, as the one in infinite, indivisible existence that we really are. And we always forget about the being and only associate with the human. And in fact, Prabhuji says that when someone dies, death is actually the being leaving the human. That sense of clarification, if we can have that we exist because of consciousness, then there is going to be a lot of change. Studying this Tattvabodha is going to bring a lot of change, because now we are going to really turn inwards and tune in with the truth that is in us. So I think that is about the third talk. At the end of the third talk, Prabhuji gives one very important point. And that point is about love and peace. So these words, love and peace, we use in every context in our life. But Prabhuji really gives the heart of these two words. How can you attain love and peace in your life? Peace is attained by us when we can understand Tattvabodha, the textbook Tattvabodha, completely, and realize that we are not the name, form, or this mind-body complex, but we are the consciousness. Once you understand that, whatever changes happen to your body, whatever changes happen to your energy, whatever changes happen to your mind, you are undisturbed, because you know that you are not that. See, it is so easy for us. If our neighbor is having fever, we are not troubled by it. We just say, oh, you're sick. How can I help you? And then we get on with our life, because we know that that suffering is not us. Imagine if we can have that much detachment with our own body, mind, and energy, because of this Vedanta, this knowledge that Vedanta gives, that you are not this, and whatever happens to this, you are not perturbed by it, you are not shaken by it. Then that will give you true lasting peace. And once you understand that what you are, consciousness, is what is there in everything outside of you, whatever that might be, that can be an inanimate thing, it can be an animate thing. Everything manifest world is also made up of that very same consciousness with which you are made up of. Then comes true love, because you and the other are not different. You are just one. Then comes true love. Until then, whatever love you feel, it is always having some ulterior motive, that, it might be my family member, it might be someone from whom I need something. So almost always love and affection will have some kind of limitedness to it. But true love will come to you when you are able to see the whole world as nothing but manifest consciousness. So though that was the third talk. And in the fourth talk, again, like Vaishnavi said, Prabhuji talks about the difference between I and me. I again refers to this consciousness with which we are really made up of, which is our tattva, which is the truth, which is the reality. And me is everything identifying with this mind, body, and energy. So that is the most important point that Prabhuji has brought out in talk 4. And in talk 5, in talk 5 again, Prabhuji has brought out a wonderful point. And I think this was something that really I thought about for many days, that in this world, no one cares about your tattva or the reality. No one, no teacher, no parent, no matter how much they love you, no one can draw your attention to your tattva. Everybody is interested only in you as a human, what you bring to the table, how good a student you are, how good a mother you are, how good a child you are, how good an employee you are. No one is drawing our attention to the real truth behind this humanness. And the one and only person who does it is the master, the guru. If you have the good fortune to ever come across a guru in your life, then that guru is going to draw your attention to your consciousness, to your Atma, and he will direct you to the study of Vedanta, which will give you complete clarity about this most important point. And here, again, Prabhuji explains the source of all desires. From the moment we are born, we have desire in us, desires at different levels. And we can never understand why these desires are coming up, when they will subside, when our mind will calm and empty down so we can think of God. In this, Prabhuji has brought it out beautifully, and he has taken the example of a rubber ball, and in his video, he's actually squeezing it and showing how it wants to expand the moment you open your hand. So that is what is really happening. The infinite, indivisible consciousness that we are is now trapped in this limited body, mind, and energy complex. So that infinite wants to become infinite again. But because it is identified with the Chidabhasa or the mind, what happens is that infinite wanting to become infinite manifests in our mind as a desire for expansion. It can be expansion of our power, our wealth, or, a bodily. You want to look more beautiful, you want to remain young all your life, even though you're 70 years, or you want to have, so much popularity, social media, you want to have the most number of followers. All these are basically the infinite wanting to become infinite. And that is the source of all desires. So once we understand that we are infinite, but because we are so identified with this finite body, we are not able to get to that. So once Tattvabodha, study of this amazing book written by Shankaracharya, once we have regularly studied it, our entire thought process will change, and we will be able to understand that we are the infinite oneness. And I think last one is talk 6. Talk 6, Prabhuji starts with the invocation prayer. Are we going to discuss that, or shall I also just summarize it?
We have discussed in the last section. You can summarize it.
Okay. So, in the invocation prayer, Prabhuji says that the way Shankaracharya has written the invocation prayer using the word Vasudeva Yogindra has given rise to a lot of controversy, because Shankaracharya's guru is Govinda Padacharya. So how come in the invocation prayer he's taking the name of Vasudeva Yogindra? So Prabhuji again explains this very beautifully. Vasudeva is the name of Sri Krishna because he is the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. And Vasudeva, the real meaning of the word is Vasati iti Vasudeva, one who resides in your heart as the Paramatma. And Vasudeva is the name of Sri Krishna, who is believed to be God, Ishvara. At the same time, Govinda is also another name for Sri Krishna. And Govinda means one who can be known only through the Vedas. So Govinda is the name of his guru. Govinda is also the name of Sri Krishna, who is also known as Vasudeva. So Prabhuji says that by using the name Vasudeva Yogindra, he has used 3 words interchangeably. One is the guru. Guru is Govinda Padacharya. Second is God or Ishvara, which is Sri Krishna. And 3 is Vasudeva or Paramatma. So the 3 are not different. The 3 states are one and the same. That is what Shankaracharya is drawing our attention to. And Prabhuji further says that when the mumuksha or the real seeker of God, when he starts searching for God, in his search for God, when he's sincere and God is pleased with him, then he appears in front of him as the guru and guides him and shows him that God is in his own heart. So Shankaracharya closes this invocation prayer, hoping that he is able to guide all the mumuksha who's looking for moksha, and hopes that this text will help them in the journey to attain that goal. So, yeah, I think that's it. Hari Om.
Yeah, wonderfully summarized and recapitulated the whole of the 6 talks that was done. Both of you did a very good job, and maybe it was a recapitulation for me also, than whatever you both gave, and for the others also. Thank you so much, Sudhaji. Jayashree ji, would you like to add something?
No, madam.
Your camera is not on. Because you came from the last class. So I just want to ask you whether you can add something to this.
No, madam.
Oh, okay. So now I think we can move on to the talk 7, since it is 8:52. Until 9:15, I think, is 1 hour time. So until then, we will move on to the 7th talk. And it will be in the format of a question and answer, so that we can, all of us can be prepared beforehand by listening to the video, and then questions will be asked. We tried out with the summarization, but maybe that was, we felt that question answer would be better for all of us. And so we took up with question answer. Vireshji, I hope you have listened to the 7th talk, the video, and then hope I can ask you the question also.
I have listened. In fact, I had gone through all 7 lectures, and even 8th and 9th lecture also I have heard in the morning. So I don't know whether I'll be able to answer your questions.
We exactly follow what is there in the talk, because each sentence is very important, and each sentence will be guiding us towards turning inwards. That is the only thing. And Guruji happened to be a self-realized man. So whatever is spoken from him is something that we will have to follow. We cannot be adding our own, like how Shankaracharya or Guruji, whoever does, it is their work is ultimate, and what we add is not authentic. So we just understand to our level, our capacity, and our potential. So we follow whatever way, and it will be easy for us to understand also, for all of us. So what we do is we just go from the talk beginning until the end. Whatever maximum possible questions are to be asked, I will prepare for that, and then it will be asked, sir.
Okay.
So hope you will also participate.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So Jayashree ji, the first question is for you only. Who is eligible to study Tattvabodha text from the talk 7?
Madam, you are asking me?
Jayashree ji.
Okay.
Now, one who has fourfold qualities, ma'am. Sadhana Chatuspada Sampanna Adhikaraya. Am I right, madam?
Yes, you are correct, ma'am. Sadhana Chatushtaya, he has told. What are those Sadhana Chatushtaya?
Actually, Prabhuji didn't cover that point in this video.
Yeah, in this 7th, in the next episode, he has talked about it, madam.
Yeah, in this he has not.
Okay. If you know, you can tell, otherwise it's okay. It's okay.
Can I?
Yes, please.
Madam, can I say that?
Yes, sir.
One is he talks about Viveka, then Vairagya, then 6 things he says: Shama, Dama, And fourth one, I'm not able to recall. Mumukshutva, something like that. You was telling.
Yes, mumukshatva. So these are the 4 steps, the ladders for liberation. This is what Shankaracharya has, and these are the qualities that a seeker has to have. This is what has been told in the text. Vaishnaviji, can you tell the shloka?
Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna. That one. Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna Adhikarinam Moksha Sadhana Bhutam Tattva Viveka Prakaram Vakshyamaha.
Okay. So what is the benefit of reading this text? Vaishnaviji only can answer this.
It is attainment of self-knowledge, and that which which leads to liberation.
So the same things keep repeating here. So though it might be repetitive, but still, until we realize what we are, this has to keep on we listen and then we forget and we automatically come back to our worldly life and we don't identify ourselves with ourself. That is the Atma. So the repetition is what is very important. And so whatever, though repetition happens, let us go forward. Jayashree ji,
Yeah, ma'am.
what is it that should be done? What is very important that should be done or that should be had for us, we should have, so that we can we can get moksha? What is that one thing?
And the discrimination we should have, ma'am.
Discrimination between?
Outward world and the inner world.
Yes, it is exactly what you said, inner world and the outer world. So when we come here, we will come to know that what is the outer world and what is the inner world. We will always be, it is only one world. That is what we would think. But what is the inner world is what we'll have to keep exploring. Sir, Viresh sir, what is the difference between moksha and achievement that has been discussed in this talk, sir, if at all you remember?
I'm not getting it, madam. Achievement, does Guruji speak about achievement in the physical world?
Yes. He gives the example of building a house and taking the loan. It's okay, sir. It does not, this is your first class. Maybe how we go about, you will not have had any idea. Somebody else will answer. It's okay. Sudhaji, you can answer this question. The difference between moksha and achievement.
So Prabhuji clearly draws this distinction between attaining moksha and attaining goals in this material world. So in this material world, when we want something, there is some effort involved, there is some time involved in that, and definitely
I think she lost her connection. We'll wait for a while.
So there is time and effort involved, and then you attain something that you did not have until that moment. But with moksha, you are not attaining something that you don't have. You are merely recognizing that which you already are. But because of your identification with this mind-body complex, you have forgotten the truth. So moksha is removing all these unnecessary layers and getting to the reality that you are. You are not getting something that you don't have. Therefore, you can never lose what you get on this path. Once you have attained moksha, it can never be lost because you are merely recognizing what you really are. But in the external world, because you are getting something that you don't have, like Prabhuji says, there is a chance that you might even lose it. It might be taken from you. And also, all achievement in the subjective world is time bound. But for moksha, Prabhuji says, you can have it this second. The only thing is, you have to truly recognize yourself as the consciousness, as the reality. So it's just a matter of recognizing. It is just a matter of discriminating intellect that you have. So that is the difference between the two.
So achievement can be, I fix my goal, I reach towards that, and I do something for that, and then I get it. So that is in the physical world. So there is, as you said, we have some maybe the work that is broken down, and we follow that continuously. But what happens with moksha? What is moksha basically? We had it in the last talk 6 also. It is nothing but not reaching the God somewhere, maybe Vaikuntha or the heaven, nothing like that. What is moksha is nothing but, it is nothing but recognizing oneself. It is not to achieve something, it is not to get something. Now, you will have to do something, yes, because we are ignorant, we'll have to get the knowledge. That is different. But what is moksha is nothing but recognizing that which is already there. It is present in us, and how it is that we can understand that. That is what is being told as the difference between achievement and moksha. Achievement can be anything in the outer world. And that is, the mind plays the role here to get something and to do something. But with moksha, it is how to drop off the mind is what we will be learning. That is, it is already there, how my activities are happening. If I just imagine that, say how the breathing process is happening, automatically it is happening. How that purification process is happening, the exchange of gases, carbon dioxide and oxygen, how is it happening? What is the control that I have? Is it the brain that it controls? How to exchange? Yes, of course, the brain controls. What is the power that the brain has? How can that happen? It is automatic. Some are voluntary, some are involuntary actions. But how are all these happening in us? We never even say, if we are having a walk, then we realize that there is, if at all we walk very fast, or if we run, we feel that we are breathing fast. Only then we come to the awareness that I'm breathing fast, I'm breathing heavily. Or if at all there is suffocation within me, then I feel that I'm breathing heavily, or there is some disturbance in my breathing. Otherwise, it is automatic. When I'm sleeping, will I ever recognize how my breathing happens? If at all it doesn't happen, what will happen to me? I know what is the end result of that if there is no breathing. But do we recognize that? Let alone the consciousness or the Atma or the moksha. But are we, whatever we are able to be aware of, are we aware of? So the path that we will have to take is that small things matter most, and turning inwards is what that we will have to be careful about, or we should be conscious of. Continuously, we will have to keep working on ourselves so that we are driven inwards. Who am I is what we have to understand. It is not I am speaking here, I am undergoing a course, or I am working for a company. Nothing of that. I am a mother of a child, I am cooking here, I cook very delicious food. All these must be there with the background thinking or background processing that it is not me, the ego me that is working, but it is only the consciousness or the Atma that is helping me to do all this work. Then we can disconnect ourselves from this. So this is what beautifully, this is something that we can apply in our daily life. I do something, I get something, are the achievements. I have something, I recognize it. That is moksha. That has been beautifully told here, and this is something that must be ringing in our mind, so that each and every moment of our life we can make an understanding of this and then live with that. So I need to recognize something is what I need to give preference to, not in doing something and getting something. That is materialistic. So this is recognizing. For recognition, what do? We need to have the buddhi or viveka. So that is how, with Guruji, I've been for 4 years, and this has been happening. We forget, and he brings us back to this path. It is not for that forgetting. It doesn't mean that I forget about this, but I forget how to identify myself with the self. So what he does is he guides us. He gives us the viveka. So that is why Ishvaro, Guru, Atmeti. That is Ishvara, Guru and Atma are one and the same. That understanding we get. So when the Guru within us or when the Atma within us is forgotten, we get the benefit from the Guru. We go, we surrender to him, then automatically the suffering, outside world suffering, everything will be gone. We need not even think of them. It will be there. We suffer. It's not that we don't suffer, but we are detached from it. So let us move on to the next question. Give an example of recognition. He has given, Jayashree ji, you can please answer. He has given an example. How is it that we forget recognizing it? With a lady who forgets.
Yes, the lady wearing a necklace and searching for it as if it is, as if she has lost it. And the other friend of her reminds her what you are wearing on your neck, and she tells it is here only. So most of the time we fail ourselves to find it inside us. And the Guruji enhances this point very well, madam. What is inside, we should search for it and we should go for it.
So it is that though she is wearing the necklace, she wouldn't have, it is there, but we are not aware of it. We are breathing, we are not aware of it. The heart is beating, we are not aware. The blood is circulating, we are not aware of it. So the self is also there, we are not aware of it. So recognize that is what is being told. Vaishnavi ji, how to find and recognize Atma?
Kanti, are we talking about Viveka and how? Yeah.
The same thing.
Okay. So essentially, the problems that we face are all created by our mind. So the guru is in the has taken upon himself and is in the endeavor to use the same mind as the tool for Atmajnana. So he says Buddhi is the tool, and it is through Viveka, the right mind, that we must be able to achieve this self knowledge. He says it is not about gathering more and more, but it is about recognizing the one and single truth. He says there are many, we are indiscriminate with our thinking and we have no control. That is where we must start with, and we must be careful about what we think. The Shastra, the text doesn't tell us what to think. It tells us what. Keep a watch on what you think. It says you must have the logic in choosing the right thoughts. And when you use that logic to the outside world, it is objective logic. But when you use that to mind your own thoughts, it is subjective logic. It is only through understanding, observing, and discriminating about what you choose to think that you go to a sphere beyond the mind and understand that Atmajnana.
Yes, Vaishnavi ji. Vireshji, can you, if at all you can remember, explain the time concept with respect to achievement and moksha?
So, since it is the moksha is just process of recognizing what already one is having. So there is, frankly speaking, there is no time frame needed for it. The time needed is only what is time required for recognition, and that depends on the sharpness of one's intellect and the the what they say the effort one would like to put in that. Effort in the sense it is inner effort, it is not external effort. Whereas in the case of achievement, like any goal or target, if we take, it all depends on how big is the target, where we stand today, and in the physical world there may be like so many other people's involvement. Say if I want to go to a bank, the banker should agree my credentials. So those are the issues. Like with respect to time, there the time is in fact not under my control. Only from my side, whatever effort is there, that is only in my control. But the result and the achievement is not under my control. Whereas in this case, to some extent, I can say, okay, if I can recognize, because it is already within me, it is something like in my pocket, money is there, it is as easy as I'm getting it out. So only thing is, since it is with connected with respect to the mind, uh, the mind has to be cultured or modified so that it can be recognized, and the mind has been built over several lives. So it all depends, like probably I would say God's grace will result. Only thing is from our side there has to be honest effort in putting it.
Correctly said, sir. Maybe for today, it's almost the time is up, 9:15. I think for today, we will stop at this and then move on to the next part of this video in our next class. We will do this talk 7 and talk 8 also. I'll be forwarding that video, the talk of Guruji. And then we will have the class in the next Wednesday also, on the next Wednesday also, because we missed the last month. So, and because we might have the vacation in the Christmas and all, let us not disturb. So next Wednesday at the same time, we will have. So we'll close this with the prayer.
Kanti ji, madam, please share the recorded talk today's one.
Okay, I'll be sharing in the group.
Yeah, ma'am.
So let us thank Guruji for giving all this, sitting at home, and we are learning and we are getting to know all this by the prayer. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Nanu Nanembudu Nanalla Ideha Manabuddhi Nanalla Sachidanandatma Shiva Nanu Nane Shivoham Shivoham Atmadarshanam Brahmadarshanam Brahmadarshanam Satyadarshanam Antarjyotihi Bahirjyotihi Pratyakjyotihi Paratpara ज्योतिरेव ज्योतिः
ज्योतिरेव
परं
ज्योतिः
ज्योतिः
परं
आत्मज्योतिः
ज्योतिः
शिवोऽस्म्यहम्
योऽप्यहम्
लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो
लोकाः समस्ताः
भवन्तु
सुखिनो भवन्तु
लोकाः समस्ताः
समस्ताः
सुखिनो भवन्तु
भवन्तु
लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु हरिः ओम्
हरिः
सत्
ओम्
श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्
हरिः ओम्